Charles Oliveira is going to be fighting Islam Makhachev this weekend. I wanted to do this breakdown 3 weeks ago. Year and a half that I think Islam Makhachev is the number one 155 pounder after Khabib. There's Khabib and then there's Islam Makhachev. And Islam Makhachev has finally now getting his title fight. And I think it is way overdue. Charles Oliveira has been on a tear. He's had 14 or 15 straight wins in the UFC. He's been in the UFC maybe 12, 15 years, 12, 14, maybe 14 years. He's been in the UFC for over 10 years. He's been super active. He fought at 145. He fought at 155. I've been watching his career develop throughout all these years, and now he's at his prime, and he's winning fights. His last fight wasn't an official title fight because he was 0.5 over. For those of you who are not aware, he was stripped of his title, even though he had an epic fight with Justin Gaethje. He was 0.5 pounds over, half a pound over. They stripped him of the title, even though he got a big win over Gaethje. It did not count for the title. In my mind, in your mind, that doesn't matter. We all consider him the UFC lightweight champion. In this fight, I think both men are going to make weight. Both men have made weight all regularly, many times over. It won't be a problem this time around. I highly doubt it's a problem 2 times in a row. That would be insane. I highly doubt either man misses weight. It's going to be an epic battle. Now, why am I picking Islam Makhachev? What are his pluses? Now, there's a lot of pluses we have for Islam Makhachev. He's been nearly perfect with only 1 loss on his record, ever. All his wins have been pretty much one-sided. He's never really had a seesaw battle. Now, he's had a couple of tougher fights, mainly versus Arman. With Arman, he had a seesaw battle, but nonetheless, he was still very dominant, especially in round 3. He was very dominant. Islam Makhachev has been dominant for the last 20 fights. He's been dominant every single fight. He's only had 1 or 2 hard fights in his career. Every single fight he's been dominant. And I will tell you why. It's not only because of his wrestling, but it's also because of his judo. In the octagon, he does double legs, he does single legs, he does judo trips, he does judo hip tosses, he does body locks, he does Greco takedowns. He's a master of the takedown. He will get this fight to the ground. Make no doubt about it. When he gets this fight to the ground, and he'll get this fight down to the ground in a multitude of ways. If Oliveira throws a kick, he's going to shoot a double, exactly like he did to Hooker. If Oliveira tries to tie up in a Muay Thai plum, or he gets too close to try to throw those razor sharp elbows, and we all know Charles Oliveira has great elbows, he's going to get tied up in those judo throws. Guys, do not underestimate the judo of Islam Makhachev. Yes, he has incredible wrestling. Yes, he has incredible jiu-jitsu. But it's not only that. He's a world-class upper body wrestler as well. He's incredible with his trips. His upper body takedowns are incredible. Suplexes, snap downs, body locks, trips, hip tosses, uchigaris, Tayotoshi. He's done it all in the octagon. Watch his fights again. He does it all. He doesn't just shoot for the legs and wrestle the legs. He's a master of upper body takedowns. When he scores his upper body takedowns, it's going to be Islam Makhachev's top game versus Charles Oliveira's bottom game. Guys, when punches are involved, the top game is superior. I think it's going to be a really good fight. I'm giving it 60-40 to Islam Makhachev. For those of you who've been tuning into my channel for a long time, you know I rarely give odds like that. It's usually 51-49. It's usually 55-45. It's rare that I'm so generous and I give a fighter such great odds. I think it's 60-40 for Islam Makhachev. And now let me tell you why. I think Oliveira, of course Oliveira has chances to win. Of course Oliveira has potential to win. He has the KO power. And he has an incredible arsenal of submissions. Of course, we all know he's got the best back control, rear naked choke. He's got those long arms. And you know, a rear naked choke is just a triangle with the arms. It's just a triangle with the arms. We know he has an incredible guillotine. He has incredible rear naked choke. And of course, he's done joint locks. He's done leg locks. He's done arm bars in his career. He has a variety of submissions. However, the only 2 submissions I think he can catch Islam Makhachev with. There's only 2. One, the rear naked choke. If he catches Islam Makhachev's back, he can finish, and I would expect him to finish. And 2, a guillotine. He has a very, very dangerous... Charles Oliveira has a very dangerous guillotine, a very dangerous high elbow guillotine. However, Islam Makhachev, a heavy wrestler, has been guillotined probably countless times in his life. He's ready to deal with it. I don't think we're going to see a guillotine. It's possible, but unlikely. What I do think we would see, if there was a submission by Charles Oliveira, it would have to be the rear naked choke. Now, that's not an easy thing to do. Get taken down, get beat up, and then find a way to the back. Very difficult thing to do. How has he taken the back in the past? Well, he's pushed guys up against the fence. He kind of does like a double leg to a waist lock, body lock, kind of duck under like he did against Dustin Poirier, jumps on their back. Or he knocks you down silly and jumps on your back, like he did with Justin Gaethje. He hurt Justin Gaethje real bad, climbed on his back, put an effortless choke. Guys, that's not going to be the case when he fights Islam Makhachev. It's going to be very difficult to do that. Rewind to Justin Gaethje versus Charles Oliveira. Gaethje drops Charles Oliveira twice in round 1. Twice. And every time he knocked Oliveira down, he let him back up. It's not going to be the case with Islam Makhachev. If Islam, for those of you who don't know, Justin Gaethje doesn't do any ground at all. He uses wrestling to stay standing, and he wants to bang. That's it. He's got a fight standing up. It's a gunfight every time. Justin Gaethje fights are all about striking. He does everything in his power to keep the fight striking. Even if he knocks you down silly, he's not going to get up on top of you. It's not going to be the case with Islam Makhachev. The second Oliveira exposes himself for a takedown, he's going to get taken down. When he does, in my opinion, guys, he's going to get mauled on the ground and eventually, very possibly, subbed. Guys, give me your thoughts. I want to know, who do you have winning? Give me the name of the fighter you're picking, Islam Makhachev or Charles Oliveira, in the chat. I'm going to take a quick little poll here, guys. Put me the name of the fighter you think is going to win, and then I'm going to take your comments and questions on these fights, on this fight. Coach, you were 60% on Usman too. That's true, and I ended up being wrong. You're right. I ended up being wrong, but to my credit, he was winning every round except one round till he got KO'd. He lost round 1, he won round 2, 3, 4, and was winning round 5 till he got KO'd. Okay, guys, let's see what else you guys got to say about this fight. Why does Firas think Islam has superior wrestling? This isn't played out by the facts. That's from Blake Williams. I guarantee he has superior wrestling. I guarantee you. Charles Oliveira has been taken down multiple times in his career. Islam Makhachev, I think, has been taken down statistically once, maybe twice. Maybe twice. I think it's only been once he's been taken down his entire career. And he's taken down literally every guy he's ever fought. I can't think of one guy other than Gleison Tibau where it was a quick knockout. He's taken on every single guy he's ever fought. So I think if you look up his statistics, you'll be shocked about what a great wrestler he is. Gaethje didn't knock down Charles Oliveira. Charles pulled guard. That's from Scott C. No, he did knock him down, and also Charles Oliveira later pulled guard. Okay, so maybe he stunned him madly once, and he knocked him down once, and then Oliveira pulled guard. But watch that fight again. Okay, I just watched it recently. He did knock Oliveira down. Absolutely. Hey, Coach. Hi, Coach. Will this fight be dictated by who can move forward, who gets pushed back? That's from Jimmy Earl. They're both going to move around. Look, I was really surprised when I saw. I thought that. I used to think that too. You know, when I saw McGregor versus Khabib, I was really surprised that Khabib circled. Like if you watch that fight, he circles the first 20 seconds. He's kind of circles along the fence and he kind of backs up, and McGregor just kind of aggressively walks towards him. Like it was McGregor smothering Khabib in the early few seconds. Now the way you start a fight really could change the whole pace of the fight. Okay. Khabib circles, and then of course he does that shot. He shoots below the knee, like he does this diving shot. He eats a knee on the way. Like, if you would have showed me just the first 10 seconds before he shoots, if you just showed me that footage, I'd be like, whoa, you know, this is really interesting because McGregor's walking up to him like he can't be hit, and Khabib is respecting his forward pressure and circling out. But then you watch the rest of the fight, you're like, you know what? It didn't play. It didn't play. It's always good to control the center, but it doesn't mean much when the guy's such a great wrestler. Because Oliveira has a thing where he kind of runs across the octagon sometimes and he does like a scissor push kick, or he does a flying kind of kick. He kind of runs at you and wants to throw a kick to your face, kind of like a bit like what Masvidal did to Ben Askren. He kind of rushes guys sometimes. He has a very strong elbow game. He has a very, very piercing, long piercing limbs with elbow. I think if he does that with Makhachev, Makhachev is just going to circle, and then shoot. Even if Oliveira pressures Makhachev, he's just going to end up getting taken down. So I don't think there's an easy way to stop the takedown from Islam Makhachev. Whether you go forward, whether you play it safe in a circle, there's just no easy way. Eventually, they're going to tie up. Watch Islam Makhachev's takedowns. They're almost effortless. He rarely struggles for takedowns. Like, he just gets them all the time. And their timing is impeccable. The variety is impeccable. He does every takedown. He does Hairagoshi, Tayotoshi, Uchigari, double leg, single leg. I mean, it's just incredible. He hits Ukigoshi. He hits every toss. And foot sweeps. Sasai, everything. He hits them all. He has such an incredible variety. It's incredible. Like, that's just his UFC. Watch his training footage. It's incredible. The takedown arsenal that this guy has. He's a freestyle wrestling expert and a judo expert. It's something Oliveira has never seen. He's never fought a guy with this kind of arsenal. Never. When he fought Gaethje didn't want nothing to do with wrestling on the ground. When he fought Dustin Poirier, he had the wrestling advantage. Like, these are not things he's gonna have on fight night. Now, I gotta make a case for Oliveira. Oliveira has great striking. He has knockout power. He has he's shown to have incredible heart. He's lost a few fights in UFC. He's lost 2 fights in a row. I think twice in UFC. He's lost like, he had a bad losing streak once. I think out of 6 fights, he had lost 4 of them at one point early in his career in UFC. Like, the guy has a lot of heart to come back from that and to keep pushing forward, and not only to come back from that, but to become world champion. The guy has a lot of heart, but he does get knocked down. He's been knocked down multiple times in this fight. He's a brilliant fighter, but he's also a blood and guts fighter. He's a blood and guts. Meaning, he'll take one, he'll give one, he'll take one, he'll give one, he wins, but it's messy. Makhachev, not the case. Makhachev victories have been flawless. Rarely is he ever on the back foot. Rarely does anybody ever score on him. I just don't see how we can compare. My pick is Islam Makhachev. I told you guys